The town of Silverwood, Oregon, was surrounded by pine-covered hills and quiet lakes that shimmered under the summer sun. It was the kind of place where history seemed woven into the streets, where every old brick building whispered stories of those who had lived there before. For 18-year-old Olivia Morgan, Silverwood was both a comfort and a cage. She had lived there all her life, walking the same streets, attending the same high school, and spending summers at the same lake with her friends. Yet beneath the stillness of the town, there was always the sense of something unfinished, something waiting in the shadows of memory. That summer began like many others. Olivia worked part-time at Willow's Cafe, a family-owned shop in the center of town, and spent her evenings sketching in her notebook at the lakeside pier. Her closest friend, Michael Carter, often joined her there. Michael was thoughtful, with dark brown hair and a calm presence that steadied Olivia's restless energy. They had known each other since childhood, bound by years of shared secrets and unspoken understanding. But this summer, Michael carried something different in his eyes, a weight that made Olivia wonder if he, too, felt the shadows she often sensed. One evening, after closing the cafe, Olivia found Michael waiting for her outside. "Walk with me?" he asked, his voice low. They strolled through the dimly lit streets, the glow of lampposts stretching their shadows along the sidewalk. When they reached the edge of Silverwood Park, Michael stopped. "Liv?" he began, hesitating. "Do you ever feel like there are things we promised ourselves long ago, but never spoke out loud?" Olivia frowned, caught off guard. "What do you mean?" Michael shoved his hands into his pockets. "When we were kids, we used to talk about leaving this town together, exploring the world. We promised, remember?" The memory stirred in Olivia's mind, faint yet vivid. She recalled sitting with Michael under the old oak tree by the lake when they were 12, both of them making plans to see the world beyond Silverwood. At the time, it had felt like a game, an innocent vow whispered into the summer air. But hearing Michael speak of it now, years later, made it feel heavier, like a shadow of an untold promise that still bound them. Olivia gave a small smile. "Of course I remember. But things change. People change." Michael looked at her intently. "Maybe, but some promises are meant to last." From that night onward, the memory of their childhood vow lingered between them. Olivia tried to push it aside, focusing on her sketches and her work at the cafe, but every time she saw Michael, she felt the weight of it. It wasn't just about leaving Silverwood, it was about the bond they shared, something unspoken yet undeniable. A week later, while helping her grandmother clean out the attic, Olivia stumbled across a wooden box tucked beneath a pile of blankets. Inside were letters, journals, and photographs from decades earlier. She pulled out a journal with the initials CM carved on the cover. Curious, she opened it and began reading. To her surprise, the journal belonged to her great-grandfather, Charles Morgan, who had lived in Silverwood his entire life. The entries were filled with stories of the town, but one passage caught her eye. "Not all promises are spoken aloud, yet they bind us just the same. Some are carried through blood and memory, shadows waiting to be fulfilled." The words sent a chill through Olivia. She closed the journal and sat quietly, wondering if some promises really did linger across generations. That night she told Michael about what she had found. He listened closely, his brow furrowed. "Maybe it's not just coincidence, Liv. Maybe our promise is part of something bigger, something we're meant to carry forward." As the weeks passed, Olivia and Michael began exploring Silverwood in a new light. They walked along forgotten trails, visited the town's abandoned mill, and spent long evenings at the lake. Everywhere they went, Olivia felt echoes of the past, like the town itself was urging them to remember something important. The more they explored, the stronger their bond grew. One evening they hiked up Raven Hill, a place locals often avoided because of its eerie legends. From the top they could see all of Silverwood spread out below, the lake glimmering in the fading light. Michael turned to her, his expression serious. "Liv, I've been accepted to a university in Seattle. I didn't tell anyone yet, not even my parents. I'm leaving in the fall." Olivia's chest tightened.
Seattle? He nodded. I want you to come with me. Not necessarily to school, but come see what's beyond Silverwood. Like we promised, Olivia's mind raced. Part of her longed for the adventure, for the chance to break free from the familiarity of Silverwood. But another part feared leaving behind everything she had ever known. Her family, her grandmother, the cafe, the